Alrighty, morning everyone, and welcome back to another beautiful video on this beautiful channel on another beautiful day. Have you ever thought about selling your silver or gold for that matter? Doesn't really matter. Any metal will do in this context. Have you ever thought about that? Honestly, I never really did. But a couple of years back, I was like, but what if I had to? What if I had to sell my gold or silver or whatever, copper maybe as well? Depends on what metal you're stacking. And I thought about that for a while and I was like, yeah, I should probably have a plan for that. Because, of course, I am not planning on selling my copper, silver, or gold at the moment, or ever really. But, we all know things that you don't plan still happen. So you should probably start thinking about stuff that might still happen even though you're not planning on doing so at some point. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. And that's what I want to kind of debate about also, because there are different versions of, or different strategies of approaching something like selling all of your gold and silver, or at least a good chunk of it. For example, if you're getting in a financial emergency or whatever, right? Things can happen. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. Before we do that, though, let's have a look at the coins that I brought for you here today. This first one is a 2-ounce Queen's Beast coin from the year of 2021. Problem with these 2-ounce Queen's Beasts is that in 2021, the Royal Mint, which produces these coins, had major quality control issues, I think, because many coins that they produced in that year were absolute shade. Sorry to say it like that, but this one is full of milk spots. You can't really see that on camera, but it's very obvious in person. And I've had some other coins from the Myths and Legends series, for example, that were just basically melting value because they had scratches all over them. And I was like, come on. I bought them new directly from the mint and they were shade. Not sure what happened there, but whatever, we'll move on to something that has a little bit better quality control, and that is the Perth Mint, of course. This is the 2020 version of the Luna 3 series with the motif of the mouse on it. Very beautiful coin, very expensive though. Now, it wasn't always expensive, of course, but these older Luna 3, older quote unquote, it's like 2 years old, Luna 3 coins went up in value a good chunk. What didn't go up in value a lot is this 1-ounce gold Australian kangaroo from the year of 2019. These kangaroos don't really have a mintage, so they don't really go up a lot in value, a little bit over time, but usually you can pick them up at around like 5 to 10% over spot. So, last thing we have here is a very, very old quote-unquote German, even though, this is not really the Germany that you know from maps nowadays. It looked very different back then. This is a old German coin from the year of 1910, so, 112 years old now, yeah. Really, really cool. I like old coins like that were part of a actual currency system back in the days and that were actually used, because it's kind of interesting to think about what people might have bought with them. I also have a lot of old French coins and English coins and stuff like that. Really, really cool. I just like that kind of stuff. So, selling your gold and silver. What are the kind of things that you might have to think about? Well, first of all, there are kind of like 3 versions of selling your gold and silver, at least where I am. First one being, of course, selling it in person to a precious metal dealer in your local city or whatever. That is probably the version that most of us are gonna consider and think about. Second version would be selling it online to a precious metal dealer, which is a bit more complicated because you have to get all of them there. Then you have to, of course, trust the dealer to tell you really what they are worth without being able to really debate with him about that and show him your perspective. So might be a bit of an issue. So it's not that great. And you obviously have to pay for shipping over there, which is also not that great. But then again, you also have to drive to your local precious metal dealer. And then we've got the third option of just selling it privately, either online or meeting up with someone in person. So all 3 of these methods have their upsides and maybe also a bit of downsides. The one with the least downsides, in my opinion, is the version with just driving to your local precious metal dealer and selling them there. There is, of course, a downside to that, and that being that you're only getting a price from that one dealer and you can pretty much take it or leave it. Online, you can compare different precious metal dealers, right? And figure out what would be the best price that you could get for your specific coin. However, both of those will probably not give you a lot for your collector's coins. So that's something that they both have in common. That's not great, that you will only get if you sell to a private person. So yeah, but as I said, least downsides probably has just going to your local precious metal dealers and trying to sell your coins there if you want to sell investment coins or stacking coins or junk silver or whatever, like stuff like that, right? Why is that? Because you can take all of your stuff and just go there, look through all the stuff with the person that you're selling it to, then just kind of go back and forth and settle on a price that is okay for both of you or not, well, but if not, you don't have to pay for like the shipping to get it back, for example, if the price is just not what you wanted it to be and you want to sell it somewhere else, right? You can just take it back to your car and drive home with it. So just very easy in general. Of course, you also have a person to talk to, which is also nice, right? Because yeah, well, usually you would want to do that, right? If you're selling something that maybe also has a good chunk of value, you would want to talk to someone about maybe what the prices are and how they kind of, come together to what they would want to pay you for your stuff. So I think that's important, yeah, because you obviously don't want to get melting value for good stacking coins or fine silver coins. Like, no, it isn't just not a good thing. So it's the kind of stuff that you have to tell people in person, that you know that what you want and you know your stuff and you know that you're not going to sell a 1 ounce silver eagle for $20. So, kind of stuff like that. Another very good thing, of course, is that you take your coins, you go to that shop, and you leave with the money if you're happy with what you're getting for them. That's also nice, yeah, because if you're selling them online or to another private person or whatever, you might have to wait for something, right? That's usually the case. So also another positive thing. Not really a very important thing in my opinion, but it's there, and so yeah, why not, right? So there's definitely that. So let's talk about the selling online. Selling stuff online usually works in a very specific way. So first of all, of course, you take a look around and look at the prices, what different precious metal dealers are offering to pay for your coins. If you find an offer that you think looks good, you can then write them an email or whatever, write them a message, or call them and ask them if they were interested in this and this and this amount of this and this and this coin. If they say yes, they are then going to probably give you something to ship it to, either an address. Some, I think, even offer to pay for shipping or things like that. I don't know. I'm not sure, but I think I've heard something like that. So maybe just ask them about that. I don't know. They probably won't, but I've heard it, so might as well. So you're gonna ship your coins to that dealer, probably using some sort of security delivery company or whatever. That works best if you want to sell a lot. If you just don't want to sell that much, you can also take like a normal UPS or whatever. I think they also have insurance on those up to a certain amount of money. So you ship it there. They then go through everything and tell you if they've got any issues with it or whatever. And then they're going to tell you what they will pay for that. And you can either accept that offer or, well, of course, refuse it, because you're not forced to sell to them. So you can also do that, but then you would have to somehow get it back to you. So it's not that great, if you kind of pressure to take the amount of money that they want to pay to you. But then again, if you're really selling them, if you really want to sell them what you were telling them on the phone or in an email, there shouldn't really be an issue, right? I mean, they know what to expect, kind of. So if they then just, say that's worth much less, that wouldn't be very nice, wouldn't be very professional. So I would reckon that most would stick pretty close to what they told you on the phone or online about their prices and stuff. And so I don't think that's something that you have to worry about a lot. At least I don't hope so. So yeah, that's pretty much the selling online. It's straightforward, but I would just prefer going into a physical dealership, because it's just easier, in my opinion. It's easier, it's less of a hassle and less stress, just in general a bit more nice. What also can be pretty nice is selling to another private person. Obviously has the benefit that you're probably selling to another collector, and that's a nice thing, right? Because you know that your coins are going to someone that's going to take care of them or whatever, and also that also likes collecting coins or stacking silver or gold or whatever, right? Just someone that is interested in the same stuff. You're obviously going to get a lot more money for your stuff, because obviously if you're selling it to a dealer, the dealer has to sell it again to another private person. If you can just skip the dealer and just sell it to a private person to begin with, right, you're obviously going to get more money because there's no margin that the dealer would usually take in there. So that's good for you, good for your, good for your bank account, I guess. So that's another positive thing. A negative thing is that it might take a long time to sell all your stuff, because, selling it all at once might be a bit difficult, and, you obviously want market value, or at least close to that, for your stuff. So it might just take a bit longer. It's definitely quicker to sell it at some dealer's place. But then again, the extra money that you're getting is also pretty nice. So you just kind of have to debate on that, right? It also depends on how quickly you need the money. If you just think you need it in a couple of months, well, then I don't think that there's an issue with like trying to sell it to a private person. You're probably going to find someone for all of your stuff in that amount of time. So especially if you underprice it like at the tiniest bit, like, people usually jump on that pretty quickly. So that's definitely something that you can do, and it's probably going to be pretty easy. Has its downsides though. It definitely does. First one, of course, if you're selling something on eBay and stuff like that, eBay takes a share of that. So I wouldn't recommend that necessarily. There are some other possibilities to sell stuff, right? Some stuff like that. You can use like forums and stuff like that. That works. I think there are also some other like just apps and stuff that allow you to sell things, like, for example, coins, right, without taking a fee and things like that. So it's certainly not perfect, and it's certainly not terribly easy, but of course you want to get more money than you're getting from a dealer, so you got to do a bit more for that, most likely, right? Because otherwise, well, why would you get less over there? Another little issue is the payment with these things, because obviously most people nowadays use PayPal. Problem with PayPal is that the person that buys the stuff can sometimes just retract the money after they already received the thing. That is very unnice, if I do say so myself. So you gotta be mindful of that. You gotta know that is possible. I don't use PayPal I don't use PayPal at the moment, so I don't know for sure how that is possible, but I know that it is somehow possible. So bank transfer would be best, but most people are not really, don't really want to do that. Best thing, honestly, the best thing to sell something privately is just to take your stuff and meet up with a person in some public place, of course, where they can't rob you or anything like that. Just meet up with them and say, okay, I'm going to give you the coins and you're going to send me the money, wire me the money right here and now. And yeah, that would be just the best way, because then you have your money, that person has their coins, and there's no taking money back or scamming someone of something or whatever. I just think that's the best option, honestly. So, in my opinion, that would be the thing to go for. In general, what would be the thing to go for? Well, it's not that easy to say. I guess it depends on your preference. I really like going into a coin store and selling stuff there, but that's obviously not really the place to sell collector's coins. Collector's coins are for the private market. They really just are. So if you want to sell those, you kind of have to go private, and selling them online, selling anything online seems like a bit of an unnecessary hassle to me. I would reckon just choose a dealer that's reasonably local to you and try your luck there. And if that doesn't work, well, then you can obviously go online and stuff like that. So yeah, that's just my opinion on selling gold and silver. If you think that I've left something out that might be important, be sure to write it in the comments below. If you've got any more questions about any of those processes, you can also write that down there. I'd be very happy to answer that, as always. And so yeah, if you want to, you can rate the video with either like a thumbs up or a thumbs down. And you can also subscribe to the channel, because that would make me very happy. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic week, and until next time.